What is inflation and how it impacts your wallet? Before digging in on the causes and effects of inflation, we must talk about what inflation is first. Inflation is an increase in the general level of prices for goods and services in an economy, over a period of time. In the United States, this inflation can be measured in two different ways: the Consumer Price Index, CPI, and the Gross Domestic Product, deflator. The Consumer Price Index measures inflation by tracking changes in prices for a basket of goods and services that an average household might purchase. This index is used to calculate the shift in the cost of living over time, what we normally call inflation. The GDP deflator measures inflation by tracking changes in prices for all traded goods, not just those which are purchased by households. It also takes into account imports and exports, as well as government spending. Now, if you are enjoying this video, please don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Also, make sure you click on the bell to turn on notifications. The inflation rate is calculated as the annualized percentage change in a country's average consumer price index from one year to another, or from 1 month to another. A 2 to 3% inflation is considered normal and healthy for the economy, but an excessive increase means that it will require more money to purchase goods, and this could mean that people will need to work harder for their money. They will also need more money to pay for things like rent, food, gas, etc. Rises in price hurt more those on fixed incomes or those with little money who are trying to buy essential items such as food and clothing. Inflation may also result in higher interest rates, which can slow economic growth as well as push up unemployment rates. It's important to note that inflation doesn't just happen overnight. It can take months, or even years before it starts to have an effect on prices. What causes inflation? Inflation is an economic phenomenon that can be caused by many factors, such as a decrease in the supply of goods and services, a decrease in demand for goods and services due to lower consumer confidence, a fall in supply of goods and services due to a natural disaster or war, an increase in demand for goods and services, an increase in production costs for goods and services, and several other factors. How can inflation be reduced by central banks? The central bank has three options when it comes to monetary policy: targeting the interest rate, purchasing foreign currencies, and changing the amount of money in circulation. 1. Interest rates. When people have more cash, they demand more goods. This drives prices up and leads to inflation. If the central bank wants to keep inflation steady, they can increase interest rates so that people have less money in their pocket. This causes inflation to slow down because people are spending less on goods. 2. Quantitative easing. This is a monetary policy that involves buying assets in order to increase the money supply and reduce interest rates. The idea behind QE is that if it can generate even more demand for goods and services, then this will cause prices to stabilize or even decline. 3. Currency intervention. Currency intervention refers to the situation when a central bank or government buys or sells foreign currencies in response to inflation. Exchange rate changes are a symptom of problems in an economy. When the demand for a currency rises and the supply of that currency does not increase, the price of that currency will increase. The central bank could use currency intervention to reduce the value of its own currency and make it more competitive internationally. How inflation impacts your everyday life. Inflation impacts consumers in many ways, and it is a major concern for many people. It can have a significant effect on your life. For example, as prices rise, your purchasing power diminishes, and you need to spend more money to buy the same product or service. This means that your income is worth less than it was before. If you have savings in cash or cash equivalents, like a savings account, then you will see your money lose value over time as inflation causes prices to rise faster than your interest rate on your savings account. Your salary won't go as far as it would have before inflation started to rise. Goods cost more, so consumers have less money to spend on necessities such as food, clothing, transportation, etc., which can lead to a decrease in quality of life or poverty. Inflation can cause an increase in unemployment rates because it takes away from consumer spending power, which leads to less demand for products and services, therefore leading companies to cut back on costs and fire employees. It causes wages not keeping up with inflation, so there is no real wage growth for workers when they get a raise. How to prevent rising prices from impacting you and your wallet. Be prepared. You should have a plan in place as soon as possible. It's important to look at your spending habits and see where you can cut back and save some money so that the rising prices don't affect your wallet as much. There are some things you can do to help prevent high prices from impacting your wallet and your life in a drastic way. One thing that you can easily do is to look for the best deals. There are many websites that offer coupons and deals on products, so it's worth checking them out before making a purchase. If you have a store card, use it to get discounts and earn points. Buy items that are on sale. Also, buying generic brands can save you some money. Buy in bulk and stock up on the items you use often. Another way of reducing the cost of living is by cutting down on unnecessary spending. For example, if you don't need the latest smartphone or laptop, then don't buy it. Instead, save your money by buying something that you really need. As seen, inflation occurs when the general price level increases, thereby reducing the purchasing power of a currency. When prices increase drastically, fewer people can afford the same amount of goods or services. Inflation affects different sectors of the economy differently. It has always been a part of our lives and will continue to be so in the future as well. The effects of inflation are felt most by people who have less money to spend. Educating yourself about inflation can help you better monitor changes in your finances. The more we understand it, the better we can come to terms with it. Please don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe and click on the bell. It will help me a lot. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next video.